All right, good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. So you can find a cushion to sit on. If you have a block, that's great. You're not really going to need it, just a nice carpeted or soft place to practice. And just go ahead and start in an easy seat. You can also start lying down, take your back flat to the mat, bend the knees, point your knees up, and just let your knees knock together. In any case, just relax in a way where the spine is nice and straight. And then soften through the shoulders, relaxing the arms and the legs. Preparing the mind and the body to enter into the practice of yoga. Noticing how you're breathing. Just simply notice what else is present in your environment. And actively allow the areas of the body to relax. Just allow any of that tension to soften and to dissipate. Letting the breath be long and smooth. So we're going to do about a 50 minutes movement practice. You can start by doing some rocks from side to side. So just taking the knees into the chest, lying the back flat. Go ahead and gently rock from side to side, left and right. Just feeling the connection to the mat. Then you can begin to rock back and forth along the spine. If that feels good for you, checking in with your body, if that feels good, maybe you just stay here, bringing the knees back and forth. Or maybe you take some more momentum into it and rock up into a seated pose here. Point the knees straight up. You're going to raise your palms up. Oh, and before I forget here, I put a playlist in the chat. If you want to play some music, it's a pretty nice Vinyasa Yoga playlist. So we'll turn the palms up, inhale, lean back a bit, and then exhale, shift forward. So keeping the back nice and straight, inhale can take you back, and the exhale can bring you forward. And so with this practice, as all of our practices, you can go a bit further if you want more engagement. Or you can go less far, go a little bit lighter into it if that feels better for you today. Just moving with the breath. The inhale, take you back. And let the exhale bring you forward. And then you can keep the hands hovered or hold behind the thighs. Lift one foot up and keep the other foot down. And then switch and switch. And you can really, while you're switching with the feet, engage the arms, hugging the thighs, bring the chest forward, and work to straighten the back a bit so we're nice and engaged in the core. And then let's get a little playful with it. So tap your feet on the mat, a little tip tap, activating through the balls of the feet, the arch, the heels, slapping the feet down. Do a couple more of those. And then you're going to Reach one leg long, take the opposite knee in, and switch. Just keep on holding onto those thighs. Take the foot nice and long, and switch. And switch. Yeah, good work. And then go ahead and come up to a seated, a cross-legged position. All right. Let's sweep the arms up, big trace of movement. Exhale, bring your hands together and down. Again, linking the breath with the movement. Take an inhale to sweep the arms up. And exhale to bring the hands down together. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Do a few more of these. Really trace the range of motion. Feel the activation through the spine and the shoulders. And when you bring your hands together, you can squeeze the elbows together on these last ones. Bring the forearms together. And then go ahead and just take your hands to your knees, right? And let your left ear come to your left shoulder. Take your left hand down, reach this right arm up, pressing your left hip down, reaching the right hand up, just softening through the neck. Maybe you lean over a bit in that direction. And then coming up through center, taking your right hand down, press your right hip down into the mat. Reach your left fingertips straight up. Soften your right ear to your right shoulder. Softening the shoulders, reaching with the arm. And you can lean a bit more into it. Let's take it with our breath. So let's inhale both arms up. Exhale to the left. You can gaze up at the hand. Take an inhale back to center. And then exhale to your right. Gaze up. One more on each side. Inhale. And exhale. Just gently warming up the back and the spine. Inhale. And exhale. That mind-body back connection. And then take your hands to the knees. With an inhale, draw your elbows back, bring your chest forward. And exhale, relax. With the breath, inhale, pull your chest up. And exhale, soften. Inhale. And exhale. And this time, inhale, bring your shoulder blades together, tilt your chin up. Exhale, relax your chin down, lengthen the neck. Relaxing the shoulders. You can begin to sway your head from side to side. Take some intuitive movements with the neck. In order to help us clear and move some energy in the mind, help us think clearly in these odd times, just working on that connection between the back, the core, and the head. So take these semicircles a little bit wider, going all the way up to the shoulder, and then down and around and up to the other shoulder, taking the chin up so the head is parallel to the ground when you do so. All right, and then come up to center here. Let's take the arms out, up, and then take the hands down to the mat, and you can gently walk your hands forward a bit, softening into this pose. We're not super warm yet, so don't go too deep into it. Just sort of find your edge here, and then you can walk your hands over to your right, and then walk your hands over to your left. Nice, and then go ahead, bring your hands in. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Let's switch the cross of our legs here. Keep your hands nice and high. Keep them up while you switch. The seat should feel a little awkward. That's how you know you did it right. And then we're going to take the hands down and forward on this side. This time, let's walk over to the left. And then take it over to the right. Nice. Go ahead, bring your hands back in. Inhale the arms up. With the exhale, take your left hand to your right knee, take your right hand behind you, and gently twist, gazing over your right shoulder. letting both sit bones touch the mat evenly, so even weight on either side. Just leading with the shoulder, nice and gentle twist. Then we're going to inhale up, and exhale over to the left side. Pressing the tailbone down, raising the crown of the head up. Take another easy breath here. And then let's come back to center. Let's roll over top of our knees. Coming into a tabletop pose. Go ahead and take some circles, anything round and round. So you can take your hips in some circles around the knees. Right? Or you can take more vertical circles. And switching directions. Warming up the wrists as well. So press your palms down, spreading the fingers wide, feeling the whole surface area of your hands connect to the mat. All right, and then come to an even tabletop. All right, take your left foot out long with the balls of the feet touching the mat, and then go ahead and rock back. Press your hips back so you get a calf stretch, and then rock forward, pressing the toes down so you get a nice toe stretch. Press back for the calf stretch, rock forward for the toe stretch. Just alternate between these two. Okay. Pressing the hands down firmly, knitting the ribs together, draw your belly in. Okay. And then lift your left foot up, reach your right hand out. Nice long lines here, nice straight line from hand to foot. Inhale for an extension, and exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, bring it in. Let's do a few more. Inhale, nice balance. And exhale, bring it in. Breathing in. And exhale. And this time, inhale, reach them out and hold. Gaze up at your thumb. Draw that heel up a bit more. Very good. Lower it down. Gaze over your left shoulder. Gaze over your right shoulder. Check over the left. And check over the right. Yeah, very good. Now take your right foot back, pressing that heel back with the ball of the foot into the mat. Then inhale, shift forward for a toe stretch. Exhale, press back for that calf stretch. And rocking back and forth. Working into those muscles. Really knitting the ribs together. Core nice and tight. Pressing the hands down when you rock. I'm going to float your right foot up, reach your left hand out, really extend long. Feel the spine lengthening here, working on our back health. Inhale to reach, and exhale, draw them together. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, find your balance. Exhale, nice work. Inhale, and exhale. Breathing in, and out. And then this time, when you inhale, reach them long out, gaze up at your thumb, reach it up a bit higher, reach your heel up. Nice work, lower it down, shake it out, shake it out. And we're gonna come to a supported side plank now. So take your left foot back, lower that heel down. You can take your right foot off the mat. See how this right foot is off the mat. Then stack the shoulders up, reach your left hand nice and wide. Nice long line from your lower hand to your outstretched hand. So in this movement here, we practice awakening. You're going to exhale, bringing the hand down in between the arm and the leg, drawing inward. And then inhale, reaching up, opening up through the chest space. Exhale again, threading the hand through. And then inhaling, reaching up. Now take your left hand to your left leg, reach your right hand up, bringing the shoulders above the hips. Hug your hip in. You can take those toes and you point those toes up and just gently hinge towards that leg if that feels good for you. Just exploring what feels good. Maybe it feels better to keep those toes down. Reach over a bit further. Come back up to neutral. And then reach towards your straight leg. Very good. Windmill the arms back down. We're going to come back to tabletop, and then we're going to go to the other side. So your right foot will come long. Left foot will come off the mat there. Now stack your right arm up. Find your shape. Find your balance. Your back foot is flat to the mat. Nice broad collar. Exhale, thread the hand through, going inward. And then inhale, opening up, expanding, taking up space, moving with the breath. Exhale and inhale. Let's do a couple more. And now keep that right hand up high. Big raise up, take your right hand to your straight leg, reach that left arm up, take this left hand over a bit further. Maybe you take these long toes, you put them up, keep a slight bend in the knee, flex the toes. And come up to neutral. And then lean towards the leg. And windmill the arms back. We'll come back to a tabletop. Taking the knees underneath of the hips. Tuck your toes. Take the palms underneath the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. Press the hands down, hover the knees up for 5, for 4, for 3. Feeling that inner fire. Very good. Go ahead and lower the knees down. Let's take cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round the spine. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, doming the spine. Inhale, the tailbone is going to point up, shoulders point up. Exhaling, reverse that. So keep going through this cat-cow motion. Take a few more breaths in each position. We're working with not just spinal health, but also the health of our guts, of the core of the body. We have more nerve cells in our guts, in our endocrine system than we do in the mind. So we're working with the body's intelligence, helping to keep that moving, helping to keep that fluid. Just keep going with that cat-cow. Then take your hands a bit further forward, their hands length distance or so. Shift your hips forward. Now you want your shoulders to be stacked above your wrists. Nice vertical line in the arms. And we're keeping the core engaged. So you're not just like relaxing the core, letting the core hang heavy. You're keeping it engaged. Knit your ribs together. Draw your belly button in, navel to your spine. Okay, so there's a straight line from the knees to the crown of my head. That's what you really want here. You want to keep that straight line. Inhale. Exhale. Press your hands down. Press your hips back. We're not coming to child's pose, but we're making another straight line from the tailbone to the fingertips. Okay. Hugging the hands down. Let the shoulder pull away from the spine. And then let the inhale take you forward. We'll move with the breath. Exhale is going to press your hips back. Nice flat back here. Inhaling forward, the vertebrae come back into alignment. Nice straight flat back. And then pressing the hips back. Lengthening the vertebrae. Take a couple more with your breath. Letting your breath guide the movement. As always, you can follow my rhythm or follow your own pace. And then go ahead and shift forward. Let's all shift forward. Yeah, exactly. Tuck your toes. We're gonna find a down dog. So Press your hips up high to the sky. However you get there is good. Pressing your hands down into the mat, letting your heels relax. Begin taking one heel down and the other, bending the opposite knee, and let your down dog pedals get longer. Really bend into that knee, press the heel down, and alternate leg for leg for leg. Keep on pressing your tailbone up nice and high. Very good. Come up onto your tippy toes. And go ahead and casually step the feet up to the hands. Inhale for a halfway lift. Lengthen your back here. So take a flat back. It doesn't need to be halfway up. However, wherever your torso is to get a nice straight spine is perfect. Inhale. And exhale. Bend the knees a bit. Fold forward. You want to really bend the knees so that your torso can hang. You can bring your head below your heart. And then press down into your feet, raise your kneecaps. You're going to roll up to standing, drawing your navel in, circle the arms up. And exhale, take your hands down to your hearts. All right. Let's take a chair pose. So sweep your arms up, bend your knees, sit your hips back. All right, you want your feet to be nice and parallel. You want your arms to be straight. So if your arms have to come out wide for them to be straight, that's good. Extending through the fingertips, soften the shoulders, lengthening your tailbone. Make sure you can see your big toes. You want to be able to see your big toes here. Okay. Now you're going to take your right hand back, gaze over your right, and check out your knees. Your right knee is going to want to come back, so you're going to actively bring your right knee forward. Keep your knees in a line. Reaching the right hand back, bringing that right knee forward. All right, perfect. Then come back forward to chair pose. Inhale, sit a bit deeper. Exhale, straighten your legs and fold. And this is a good place for a block too. These forward folds can be a bit difficult for some folks. You want to keep the knees nice and bent here so we're not stressing the lower back. When we bend our knees, it allows us to more easily fold forward and get the benefit of that inversion, okay? So if you want to rest your hands on a block or any prop, it's a good place to do that, all right? And then let's come up halfway. Find that flat back shape again. Send your tailbone back, lengthen your neck, and then fold. Sweep your arms back behind you. And then we're going to rise into chair pose. Sit the hips as you reach your arms forward and up. Again, find a nice parallel placement with the feet here. Feet underneath of your knees, underneath of your hips, okay? Now take your left hand back. You're going to check your knees. Bring your left knee back into line with your right knee. And draw the crown of your head up so that your spine is nice and straight. You can just gaze to your left, extending through the fingers. Left hand back, left knee forward. Yeah, nice work. Come back up to our chair pose. And we're going to straighten the legs and fold again. Take a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And take your hands down to the mat. You can step one foot back, then another, finding yourself in a plank pose. Go ahead and squeeze your core. Engage, engage. Find yourself nice and flat here. Can your back be a little bit more flat? And then we're going to hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. Go ahead and slowly lower down. You can lower the knees. Or lower all the way down, very slowly, very slowly. Yeah, nice work. Go ahead and tense your fingertips on the mat. Draw the elbows up here. Inhale, lift your shoulder. Exhale, take your left shoulder down. You can straighten that arm. Inhale up. Exhale, take your right shoulder down. You can reach that arm out. Inhale. Exhale, take the left shoulder, pressing the right fingertips down. Inhale up. And exhale, opposite side. Reach that right arm out long. Left fingertips press down. Yeah. Go back to center. Now, what I want you to do is with an inhale, hover your hands up. Hover both of your hands up. And with the exhale, press your hands down. Peel the chest up just a bit, gazing forward. Exhale, lowering down. Pressing your hips down. Press the hands down. Peel the heart up just a bit. Then go ahead and lower the head down. Lower one cheek down to the mat. And sway your heels. Check out my heels. Just let your heels rock from left to right. Releasing through the hips. Get some relief in the lower back. All right. And pick your head up. Take your opposite cheek to the mat. And now take your heels out and then your heels in. Heels out, heels in. Just swaying, rocking. Relieving some pressure in the lower back. All right, perfect. Take the hands underneath of the hips. You're going to press your hips back. And then straighten your legs. Finding that down dog shape again. All right, you got this, strong yogis. Bend your knees, press your hips, straighten your arms. Inhale, exhale, straighten your legs. Once more, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, straighten your legs. And then go ahead and come up on your tippy toes and gracefully tip-tap, step up to the top of the mat. Raise your back flat, halfway lift. And then lower it down. Sweep the arms coming up into a chair pose. All right. Now take your right foot. You're going to step your right foot back about 3 feet. You can lower the heel. All right, your heels are roughly in a line. Now what I want you to do is take your left hand. You can take it to the thigh here. All right. Or you can take it down, take hold of your shin. Okay. Reach your top hand up. So in this pose, there's a bit of stretching, there's a bit of engagement, there's a bit of flexibility. All right, it's a nice balance of things. Let's see here. If you have a block, you want to rest your hand on a block. That's good as well. Or you can take your forearm to the thigh. Make this more of a side angle pose. Okay. You can gaze up at those fingers. And then go ahead and raise the core up. Lengthen your stance, so heel toe your stance up. Take a warrior two shape. Your front knee is over top of your front foot. Your knee is tracking in the same direction as your front middle toes. Gazing over those front fingers with intention. Okay. I just want you to reach forward and then reach backward. Letting the weight be even in the feet. Just gently stretching one direction, then the next. You can take a little wave in the arms when you do this too. Yes. Make that nice and fluid and flowy. And then straighten it out. I want you to draw the support up from the ground so you can reach, grab, pull it up the legs into your core, extend it through your fingers, soften the shoulders. All right, and then with an inhale, straighten your front leg, bring your arms together overhead. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Some nice full breaths. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And then I want you to go ahead and take both of your hands forward, square your shoulders forward. You can step that back foot up to your front foot, coming to a standing pose. And bend your knees, sit the hips back, find chair pose on this side. Take your left foot back, Take your right hand down. Reach your left hand up. There you can gaze up at that left hand. Drawing the core in. Just hold here, nice and steady. Take a few easy breaths. And then come up into a warrior two. You can widen your stance a bit so that your front knee is just in front of or over top of that front ankle. And rock back and forth, reaching back and reaching forward. Keep your weight nice and even in the feet. And then with an inhale, straighten the legs, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, bend into your front knee. You don't want this front knee to come too far past the front foot though, so be careful. Inhale up and exhale to your lunge. Let's do a few more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now bring both of your arms forward and step that front foot up. Reaching up nice and high. Press your heels down. Really stretch up through your fingers. And then fold forward. Take one more forward fold here. All right. And go ahead and walk your feet back to a down dog shape. Inhale forward for a plank shape. Nice and strong here. Then go ahead and lower your knees. Take the knees nice and wide. Bring the forehead down, finding a child's pose. You can sway the head from side to side, taking the hips back to the heels. Just softening into the pose. Very good. Then go ahead and rise up. Take your feet in front of you. From a seated pose, let's take the left foot out long. Take your right foot into that thigh. You can inhale up nice and tall. And then with an exhale, you can hinge over your straight leg. It feels really nice to take him behind you to help press your tailbone down, keep your spine nice and straight. And then just reach for that foot. You can curl the toes back, and wherever your hand lands is good. You can take hold of the ankle, the calf, or the toes. Okay, just pressing the tailbone down to keep the spine nice and long. Take a few easy breaths there. Just gently easing into the stretch. And then raise the torso up. Frame your right knee with your hands. So you're gonna turn your chest towards that thigh and just press the hips down. Just gently twist to your right, pressing that left seat bone down to open up the hip. All right? Pressing your hands down, lengthening the spine, feeling that stretch in your left groin. Nice. Now let's come back to center. Let's switch the legs. So take your left foot into your right thigh. Inhale up, let the seat bones come down to the mat. Exhale, you can fold over that straight leg. I like to take a hand along my side to help get more leverage. Taking that right leg out as much off to the side as feels good for you. Pressing the tailbone down, reaching forward for whatever you can take hold of. And just take a few more easy breaths here. Very good. Go ahead and take the hands in. Frame that knee. Press the tailbone down, nice straight spine. Twist a bit to your left. Yeah, nice. Go ahead and take your knees in. Coming back, flat to the mat. Soles of feet in front of your seat. Knees pointing straight up. Let's take a bridge pose. So press the feet down, raise the hips up. Then exhale, lowering the hips down. And now with inhale, when you raise your hips up, take your arms up and back. And then with the exhale, lowering the hips down, bringing the hands along your side. Inhale up. When you exhale, take it down one vertebrae at a time. Inhaling up. And exhaling, lowering down. Let's do a couple more. Inhale up. Exhale, rolling down the spine. Inhale, press your hips up nice and high. And then lower it down. And so from here, go ahead and take a yogi's choice. If there's any other position that you want to do, if you want to do like a full bridge, bringing the hands together, rolling over top of the arms and pressing the hips up, you can go for that. Or a wheel or a shoulder stand, whatever feels good for you. And then release the arms, roll it down. Let's take our right ankle on top of our left thigh. Reach the hands behind the left thigh. Draw it in. Draw it in. You can curl the toes for a reclined pigeon pose. Then lower that left foot down. Let your legs, you can keep this shape here. Let them rock over to your left side. Gaze over the right shoulder. Let the arms come out into a T. Softening through the shoulders. Taking a few easy breaths here. Very good. And then bring your knees up. Take both feet down. Now take your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Take an opposite grip with your hands. So like with the opposite thumb on top. And then squeeze that thigh in. You can always straighten the leg here if you like. Feeling that stretch along the side of your left hip. Very good. Release the hands, take them along to your side. Keep the legs. Let your legs rock over to your right. Arms out wide, gaze over your left. And just let gravity do her thing. Softening with the out breath. Perfect. Go ahead and bring your knees back up through center. Take your hands to your knees, take your knees above your hips, bring them together, then take them up and wide around, down and together again, drawing two circles right next to each other. And then circling them the other direction. Feeling that release in the lower back. Perfect. Now take hold of your feet, ankles, toes, or the soles of the feet for happy baby. And you can rock a bit from back and forth or sway from side to side, bending one knee then the other, pulling the feet apart. And whatever feels good for you here. Take a few more rocks in your happy baby. And then take the knees in, squeeze them in, and then go ahead and lie down flat. Take the legs out. Take the arms nice and wide. Take any final movements, sways, rocks, jiggles, wiggles, to help you ease into Shavasana, resting pose, probably the most important asana of our practice. The time where we absorb all the benefits. Just letting any form or ideas, plans, or expectations just relax off onto the mat, staying present with the breath and the body. Continuing to stay present, letting the breath be nice and smooth. You can inhale, bringing a smile to the face. And with an exhale, just dissolving out, relaxing. Inhaling with a smile. And exhaling, letting go, letting go. And in this last minute, let's use the three-part breath, breathing into the belly, then the chest, then the collar. And exhaling from the top down. So as you inhale, feel the diaphragm expand, feel the rib cage open, broadening through the collar. And exhale, softening through the chest into the belly. Inhale, nice long full breath. And smooth, steady on the exhale. Listening to the sound of the breath. Breathing in deeply. And exhaling completely. Take another nice full breath. And letting it go, wiggling your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Get some movements with the legs and arms, and reach up overhead, up and back, bringing that awakeness and aliveness into the body as you bend your knees. Bring your knees up into your chest. Gently wrap the arms around your shins. Receive that appreciation from yourself, for coming back to the yoga practice. Sway a bit side to side. And roll over to one side, resting your ear on an arm. You can press the top hand down, stretch your top leg out, back to a seated pose. All right, take a seat for a moment here. Nice and tall in the spine and relaxed. Inhale and exhale. One more like that. Breathe it all in. And exhale, let it all go. And take the hands to the heart. Thank you so much for breathing and flowing and waking up with me. Namaste. Really enjoyed leading this class today. So I'll leave the chat open for a few more minutes. Don't think that I can hear you guys, but if you do want to type anything in the chat, I'll hang out for a couple minutes. So now is the best time to stay healthy. So lots of fruits and vegetables. Please drink lots of water. And the other PSA that I have today is that it's okay to be going through some grief. A lot of us are grieving right now. It's kind of like a national, global experience that we have. So it's okay to feel that. Know that, you know, that's normal, and that, you know, we're not alone in that. We're all in this together. All right. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the class. Now, I would love to hear some feedback if people would like the class to be a bit more active, or if, like, today was a pretty low-key, much more of a gentle class. So some of them may be a bit more active, more like a level 1 vinyasa flow. Some of them may be more gentle. So I'm definitely open to feedback as far as like which way we want to go with that. Tomorrow we're doing the full power yoga class. So if you want to tune in and turn up tomorrow at 10, we'll be going hard for that one. So looking forward to that. Went to get some water here, practicing what I preach. I'm going to go ahead and close out the chat. So please have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Take care, stay safe, smile, eat well.